Hello there and welcome back to another CPR More Leadership Coaching Tidbit, where we're breaking through 20th century leadership style for optimum success. Welcome to our Leadership Level Up series. We're in building block number 2, and this is episode number 6. The theme, verification. Verification is the fourth and final stage of Sir Graham Wallas's 4-stage process for creativity to emerge. And our level 2 building block makes sense. The goal is to use brain power for competitive edge, a competitive advantage. And that brain power is unique to each and every one of us once we balancing it out. And that is really exploring the term of, yes, creativity. And creativity is innate to each and every one of us. We know that it begins with the leader intending to do things differently and also creating and cultivating an environment that a team can be creative as well for competitive advantage or competitive edge. And because creativity is unique to each and every one of us, your ideas indeed will be unique to you. And that's what gives you a competitive edge. Understand that ideas are mental manifestation or representation of the initial intent. And what we do when we apply creativity and Graham Wallas's 4-stage process is an opportunity to love all those creative ideas to explore. So we're going to discuss in today's episode, the final one, verification, putting those ideas to the test, and what that looks like. So if you're new to this program, a very hearty CPR welcome. Thank you for joining us, either through the Holy Spirit or by referral. Either which way, we do thank you, and we pray that you're doing the work. This ministry is about doing the work, and we apply 2 main principles. James 2:26, faith without works is dead. You must do the work. And the other James Clear, author of the book Atomic Habits, he indicated, he quantified it. If you do 1% for a year, you should anticipate a 37% increase, but you must do the work. There are no folding arms. It's about rolling up your sleeve and getting the job done. You got it. So again, if you're new, thank you for joining us. I am Cheryl, and I'm the founder and managing partner for CPR, that is Consultant Proficiency Resources. I'm also the host of the online radio program, Jumpstart with CPR, that meets and airs every Tuesday on One Radio Online. That is 10:15 a.m. Central, 11:15 a.m. Eastern, and 4:15 p.m. Central. That is 5:15 p.m. Eastern, only on One Radio. And again, as I indicated, this is episode number 6. We're going to look at the fourth and final stage of Sir Graham Wallas, the process of verification. Before we get into that, it's important to highlight, we have to get in today's biblical principle, and it's coming from Psalms 118:24, and it reads, "This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." And absolutely, this is just another reminder that our Creator created the universe, and as a leader, we focus on today. There's a clean slate. We don't look at the rear view mirror and consider yes today. We are considering today, clean slate, fresh start, doing the work, committing to you, walking by faith, doing the work, and getting the job done. You got it. And then we're going to consider today's business principle coming from Sir Graham Wallas himself. And he indicated humanity needs creative thinking if we want to prevent immediate or future disasters. Yikes. Do you agree or disagree that creativity caused some of the most interesting creations that we're dealing with today on a global front? Well, we know at the end of the day in life, there are choices, and we can use creativity for good or for not so good. And for our Level Up series, we are looking at the positive, how our talents and the ability to be creative, understanding the balancing power of that beautiful organ, balancing the right brain with the left brain, can be used for competitive advantage. So absolutely. Now let's get into verification. Again, creativity is innate and it's a characteristic of human cognition. And again, it starts with, of course, indeed, with the intent to do something. And during the verification stage, this is where those aha moments, those fleeting moments, that epiphany or that light bulb moment or eureka comes up. And this is a point where you want to evaluate, analyze, and build on that idea. Then in building on that idea, part of it is taking that idea and polishing it up a little bit. And so it can be known to be useful. It has a level of utility, and it's new and novel in its current form and shape. That doesn't mean necessarily it's an idea where it has never been heard of, but it might be unique to your social environment, your organization, and the way you choose to apply it can make that item unique. So indeed, as the creator or the inventor, you want to evaluate, of course, in the verification process, and whether this idea or ideas are applicable today for your current problem or to serve as a more effective solution for what you currently have. And in doing so, you are able to, again, validate, hence the reason, and verify, hence the reason for the term for verification. This is the time where you hit, once you have that idea, you hit on uncovering and discovering what is true. And it really also equates to committing acts of commission, right? Trial and error. You have to try that error and determine whether that error is apt, APT, apt for this particular time and season. And it's important to note that creativity is not linear. It's zigzag. It may be spiral. And that lends to a little bit outside of the box. That means you definitely have to practice a level of divergent thinking outside of the box. And don't expect creativity to emerge in a beautiful, neat, wrapped gift package. It's a bit messy, and you have to do a little polishing and cleaning up in taking those ideas and formulating it in a way that's apt for your situation. And in doing so, we will certainly allow indeed creativity to emerge in the way it does. So looking at that, there's an evaluation stage, and during the stage, again, you're considering the validity of your idea and weighing it against alternatives that you might have had before, even the myriad of ideas that came through this one process. Because again, it could be one or many ideas. And part of that evaluation, you may want to do market research on it, understanding your industry, your product, your service, what's going on, etc. And during this phase, you might want to go back to the drawing board in one of the prior stages, which includes the preparation, the very first one. This is where the intent took place, and then you started to compile your information. Any number of ways that can happen when evaluating and bringing your team together. If you bring your team together, you can all bring your ideas and what the research have shown for their respective idea. And then when we consider the verification component, you may want to take that product to test it out. And hence the reason you have the term prototype. So you want to create a prototype. And depending on what you're referencing, this stage can be a little bit more expensive, but it's a worthy investment. If it's indeed a product and you create a prototype, you definitely want to put it front and center. If you have a brick and mortar, or if you have an online pop-up store, whatever it is, put it front and center and allow your future customers, your current customers, your partners, everyone to try it out. It's about really like giving a toy to a dog and allowing that toy to be used by the dog to determine its durability. That's the concept of putting that prototype out there for the world to see. And you'll get a lot of golden nuggets, a lot of great feedback, so you then modify. And that's the concept behind a prototype. You could also pilot if it's a service, right? So if it's a service, you could also provide that information in phases. You want to roll it out in phases. And it could be, again, it could be a particular segment of your market. It could be current customers. It could be future customers. Definitely, it's free. Allow them to use the service. Give them a free 15-minute, 30-minute free service of it to test it out. Discounted services. These are some of the common ways you can roll out and phase out a particular service as you pilot it during the verification stage. So at the end of the day, it's important to note that during the verification stage, whether it's one idea, a few ideas, this is where you want to validate, verify, do your research, evaluate it for its utility and its novelty. Give information to your customers or prospective customers. Do a prototype, or you do a pilot program, phase it in, and offer discount services or totally free for using this service, so you can get that feedback, polish it up a little bit, and then come back with a final product or service. Absolutely. And that's the stage of verification. And that's it. That's it for the final stage of verification. That is Sir Graham Wallas's 4-stage process, the 4th stage in that creativity process. We're going to close out with James 3:17, and it reads, "But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere." And this verse recognizes the value of developing ideas or innovations that can make life easier, better, or more efficient for everyone as a whole. And know that you indeed are a tool as part of the greater plan and landscape. And finally, if you have not hit yet that subscribe button, we ask you to please do so. It's for free. And again, hit that thumbs up if you plan to invest in you. Go over to our website, book your free 30-minute virtual assessment. And one of our latest services that we've added as part of our Level Up series is our consultant on call. For just 15 minutes, you can use that link where you just want to bring and pass an idea through someone that's not only of faith, but someone who have expertise in a particular subject matter. And that may mean running an idea through, getting some feedback, or any of the above or below. Truth be told, the consultant on call premise was one of the ideas that we used for the 4-stage process as a way of our customers demanding more but less. They don't have the time for the 1-hour service because it's not applicable to them, but they could afford maybe 15 or 30 minutes. And as a result of that, the consultant on call concept was birthed through using the creativity process. And in the description box, I'm going to provide you with information of an upcoming women's conference sponsored by Inked to Purpose. It's coming on February the 18th. For more details, I will place in the description box. As always, thank you so much for joining us, and peace and blessings.